I was always intrigued by the stories that swirled about in the hushed corners of the Boran outpost, tales of glimmering voidwalkers who spoke with the stars. They said our universe had been birthed in chaos, and some had chosen to embrace it, dancing between the particles that defined existence. But as I sprinted towards the airlock, heart pounding and breath quickening, those myths felt more like a mockery than a tale. "You have to trust me, Leon," Lula shouted over the shrieking sirens that tore through the metallic corridors of the outpost. Her urgency clashed with the calm dread settling in my stomach. I could see her, a lantern atop the storm, her usual spark snuffed out by the red alerts. The void was closing in, and I could scarcely afford to believe in its enchantment when black tendrils twisted into our world, tearing at reality itself. "I trust you. The last time I trusted you, we nearly ended up serving those real mercenaries." I shot back, momentum carrying me farther past the sparking control panels and flickering holo displays. I had to keep moving, but my feet dragged. The weight of my memories anchored me like a skipping stone against deeper waters. She was right behind me, her polished boots echoing against the hard surface, relentless. We were only steps away from the nearest maintenance hatch, an escape route to the nebular drifter if we could reach it before the creatures from the void swarmed in. "I'm not asking you to follow me into the void," she yelled, her voice a fierce contrast to the chaos around us. "Just this once, do as I say. Why should I?" I challenged, even as I instinctively squeezed my way into the rapidly closing hatch. "You've always had your own agenda, Lula. What's different this time?" The tension crackled like a live wire, forcing me to remember the expedition to Sheila 34. The mission where Lula, ever the idealist, had convinced me we could negotiate with the real. We hadn't accounted for their species' penchant for betrayal, and I'd seen how her eagerness could spiral into danger. Yet here we were again, with the void itself creeping closer, reshaping our world. As we tumbled through the hazardous corridor, the air crackled around us like a swarm of angry bees come to claim their queen. I grabbed Lula's wrist and pulled her down a side passage, hoping to avoid whatever monstrosity lay in the main chamber. "Oh, wait, what is it that you saw?" I asked, though the words felt half-hearted, drowned in the echoes of alarms. "There's a way, the Voidwalkers. They can help us." She glanced back, the fear mingling with something else, hope. "They exist in their own dimension. We just have to find the right anchor." And my thoughts raced to the lore I dismissed as children's bedtime stories. The phenomena that twisted space and time were terrifying, unpredictable forces that lived in the dark gulfs of existence. Did I really want to invite them into our midst? And how do we find them? We don't even know if they're real. She stopped abruptly, her body bobbing slightly from the sudden halt, frustration flaring in her eyes. "If we die here, it won't matter if they exist or not. We have to try." A sudden, chilling sound washed over my senses. A guttural growl that echoed through the corridor, growing louder, a concrete reminder of the stakes at hand. "Fine. What do we need to do?" The urgency snapped back, and as Lula led me through the emergency exit, I felt a pang of resentment form a knot in my chest. We shared more than past missions. We had shared dreams and stumbles into countless night skies. To think we were facing annihilation because of her boundless ambition, an ambition that had put us on the wrong side of fate once before. The outside world exploded with the intense glow of strange nebulae, their swirling colors painting the cosmos above in shades of violet and gold. I caught a glimpse of our ship anchored just above the outer platforms. It sparkled under the starlight, its hull a familiar beacon amidst the chaos. As I glanced back, I saw shadows creeping at the edge of the structure. The tendrils were solidifying, and they twisted, hungry for flesh, propelled by frantic energy that screamed to engulf us. Was it too late to reconsider? I didn't have time to weigh the consequences. "Get on the ship," Lula urged, her voice steady amid the chaos, as if some unseen current of courage had tethered her to the chaos instead of pushing her away. "No, we need the Voidwalker's anchor. We can't lose this opportunity." She shot a look at me, her brows drawn together in something that felt like guilt. but time was running out. I'd take anything over them. Her words fell heavily, and I realized we were split down whatever boundaries had once shaped our decisions. I had to choose, leave with her, or dare to chase the Voidwalker's promise. Before I could argue, a massive shadow loomed overhead as something massive crushed the deck, causing a seismic shake beneath us. My instincts screamed as the creature emerged, impossibly warped, tentacled limbs reaching and slithering. I could see the darkness radiating with energy, making the open air feel suffocating. "Leon now," Lula shouted, and just then, the void howled, sweet and terrible, swallowing light and seeping into our world. The choice imploded in my chest like a supernova. There would be no more time. I dashed forward, chasing the flicker of hope that flared in the depths of my mind, tethered to that space between the stars and reality. The void would have come for us, with or without Lula's dreams, but I wouldn't succumb to despair. Perhaps there was still time to pull our lives from their respective spirals, even as the darkness writhed, reaching out to ensnare us. With one last glance back at Lula, I knew we were running toward the unraveling threads of destiny, whether we were joining them or trying to tame them. I couldn't yet tell. The nebular drifter's engines hummed to life, a comforting purr amidst the chaos, and I felt a stirring of hope as we bounded aboard the ship. The atmosphere inside was heavy with the smell of synthetic fuel and the metallic tang of old wires, but it offered a familiar sanctuary, a realm that could shield us from the void that was literally at our backs. Lula slid into the pilot's seat, her deft fingers dancing over the controls, and I could see her resolve solidifying in the face of our impending doom. "Fasten your harnesses," she commanded, her voice cutting through the commotion like a knife. I complied, still battling the weight of distrust and ancient grievances that clung to my heart. But there was no time for hesitation. The ship might be our only chance. As I strapped in, the monitors flared to life around us, displaying a distorted image of the black tendrils slithering up the outer hull of the ship. They crawled like spiders, reaching with effervescent desperation. An evil glimmer sparkled in their depths, pulling me in with an unsettling allure. Lula set a course for the capture zone. I shouted, forcing my thoughts back to the task at hand. "We'll need to triangulate their patterns if we're going to find those Voidwalkers." She nodded, her eyes narrowed with focus. "We can't afford to waste fuel. We need to make sure those creatures don't breach our ship." Just as the engines roared, a savage rattle reverberated through the ship. The first tendril breached our hull. A powerful jolt splintered the air as the alarm blared again. I cringed at the sound, a shrill reminder of how close we were to annihilation. "Somehow I don't think those creatures read manuals." Lula laughed dramatically, though her eyes betrayed anxiety. I couldn't help but chuckle back, grateful for this momentary comic reprieve. It was a reminder that within the chaos, we were still fighting together. "Plug in the coordinates," I instructed, taking a breath as I oriented myself in the cockpit. "We need access to the ancient archives. There may be an algorithm they've already mapped for celestial anomalies." Turning to the holomap, I visualized the intricate web of cosmic bodies and currents surrounding us. Lula worked rapidly, her fingers tapping against the control glass as the ship trembled with each impact. I watched her, seeing how fiercely she focused, that fierce determination painting her features in stark relief against the eerie glow of the monitors. The chaotic beauty of her presence momentarily distracted me. But could I really trust her not to lead us into another disaster? Yet, in our shared struggle to outrun the pitiless tendrils swarming our ship, something shifted in the air. A realization that hope was a shared tether regardless of faults and past grievances. "Systems online, plotting course," Lula reported, and as she pressed the launch button, the engines roared in agreement. With a sudden acceleration, we shot forward, plunging deeper into the folds of our galaxy's chaotic embrace. The ship cut through violet shadows streaked with shimmering light, and the nebulae outside glowed like molten dreams. A tiny part of me remembered the stories where explorers had vanished among the stars, drawn towards celestial wonders, while another part recoiled from that very beauty. Regardless, we had no choice. Survival demanded we'd carve our own path. As we raced past celestial torrents, the emptiness almost felt alive, whispering secrets we were forbidden to understand. "Look!" Lula exclaimed, her voice rising above the cacophony around us. I turned, following her finger as she maneuvered the ship towards a swirling vortex just perceptible against the cosmic tapestry. "What is that?" I asked, astonished, as we pulled nearer to the anomaly. "It's an ancient convergence point," she said, excitement tinging her voice. "All routes of interdimensional travel intersect here. It may be our best chance to reach the Voidwalkers." The thrumming ship approached the center of the swirling mass, and I felt an uneasy tide of emotions pooling in my chest. Anxiety, fear, wonder. Disquiet settled over Lula's face. "I forgot to mention, we'll need an anchor point to stabilize the ship while crossing through," she added, turning back to me, a glint of realization in her eyes as she recalled our discussion back in the corridor. "And we have no idea how long we can hold," I finished, trying to mask my trepidation. "If we're going to do this, I need to trust you, Lula." Before she could reply, the ship lurched violently, tossing us like rag dolls as energy surges boiled around us. "Hold on," was all I could muster as my hands gripped the armrest and Lula gritted her teeth. The vortex heaved, glowing colors twisting around us, and fragments of consciousness fluttered in and out, visions of things better left unseen. A sound like thunder crashed in the core of the anomaly, followed by a blinding flash. Suddenly it was quiet. "Lula?" I asked, disoriented. I turned to see her pale face lit by the console, scratched up from a recent encounter with the control board. "Are we dead?" "Not yet," she murmured, scanning the screens, "but we lost power. Rebooting the systems is going to take a moment. We have to stay near the vortex. It's one of our best chances." Great," I groaned, peering through the ship's viewing window, where the swirling patterns exerted a mesmerizing pull, while echoes of other dimensional realities brushed against the edges of my mind, whispering for us to join their dance. I took a deep breath. "In case this goes sideways, I want you to know I'm sorry for everything, for not believing in you when it mattered." The admission felt like a weight lifted, though a part of me trembled to have spoken those words. Lula looked at me, and the moment held its fragile beauty. "Maybe we both owe each other an apology," she replied softly. "Things have changed, and maybe that's the nature of our choices, at least for right now." Right at that moment, the screens flickered back to life. As the power surged cautiously through our craft, I noticed something. The tendrils had followed us into the swirling mass, fingers of darkness reaching desperately for their meal. Their approaches felt surreal, divine in their grotesque beauty, ready to reclaim us even in the labyrinth of the void. "We need to stabilize the ship," Lula urged, her training kicking in, and she began pressing buttons with renewed fervor. But the anchor AI protested. "We have to divert their attention," she shot back, adrenaline charging her every word. What could we do? We were at the precipice of everything we'd fought against, the temptation of stepping into the void and wrestling with fate. I shot her a tight look. "All right, we layer the shielding with every energy source we've got. It might give us the rest we need. On it." We worked together as pulses of energy rippled through our craft in sync with the undulating void, as if the very fabric of our existence danced in resonance with our fears. Finally, as our energy siphoned through the conduits of the ship, the tendrils reached, recoiling against the shielded plasma. We were becoming a barrier against the darkness we're holding. I beamed, though fear scratched at the back of my mind, but as the shields exploded with energy, a deafening roar emanated from the depths of the void. "Leon!" Lula shouted as alarm lights flared around us. An immense shape revealed itself within the swirling chaos, a gigantic manifestation of the void. Its multitude of tentacles bristle against the energies we'd unleashed. One colossal eye centered directly on us. What remained of my resolve began to shatter as the weight of this fight bore down on my soul. Was this the real purpose of the Voidwalkers? A malignant force enticing us into a trap and turning our desires against us? Prepare the jump, Lula yelled, intensity blending with panic. We've got to find our anchor. It's now or never. And as I gripped the armrests, feeling the power crackle around us, I understood what was at stake. If we left, we might escape, but we would never capture the secrets of the Voidwalkers. And if we stayed, I couldn't let Lula be consumed by the darkness. Sliding my hands onto the control panel, I initiated the jump sequence, summoning every bit of energy left. The screen displayed the convergence point, a flickering beacon calling us home. And now, jump, I shouted, my heart pounding like a drum, echoing through the cosmic storm. With a blinding flash blaring through the cabin, we felt the world invert, time and gravity twisting in a chaotic embrace as shadows chased us into the abyss. And as the universe buckled under the intensity of betrayal and trust, all I could do was hope that we'd break through into the light again and meet whatever waited on the other side. The world shuddered around us as the nebular drifter plunged into the vortex. A cacophony of sound enveloped the cockpit, metal groaned, lights flickered, and a surge of energy buzzed with a cadence all its own. My heart raced as I clutched the controls, straining against the pull of the other dimension. The convergence point, a swirling maelstrom of colors, seemed both inviting and ominous, its beauty masked in an unsettling aura. Lula's fingers danced across her console, her face illuminated by a bright glow that flickered between dread and determination. "We're entering, hold tight," she shouted, her voice barely piercing the tempest swirling outside. As the drifter was pulled deeper into the anomaly, the systems began to stabilize, lights blinking in sync with our racing hearts. The ship rocked violently, and I felt the tug of the void reach for us like 1,000 long fingers scraping against the hull. Between the flashes of ethereal light, I caught glimpses of galaxies collapsing and rebirthing, as though the universe were unfolding itself before our eyes. Yet within that pulsating beauty lingered something dark, an echo of malevolence that sent chills spiraling down my spine. Steady, I gritted through clenched teeth, trying to keep the ship aligned as it fought against the relentless forces pulling at us from the void. "Almost there, just a little more," Ilula replied with a fierce focus in her eyes, her voice steadying in the storm. The image of the vortex twisted unnervingly, all-consuming. Then came a sudden jolt, as if the very fabric of space threatened to tear apart. Alarms erupted around us in frantic red, doors rattled, and every sound was a warning of what was attempting to breach into our domain. The chaos compressed into a single heartbeat. The ship glitched, and for a terrifying moment, everything went dark. I blinked, disoriented, before the lights flickered back on. An eerie silence filled the cockpit, a stark contrast to the atmosphere we had escaped only moments before. Pushing through my swirling thoughts, I gathered myself to assess the situation. Did we make it? I gasped as I turned to Lula. Her fingers flew over controls, bringing systems alive again. "We're alive, but where are we?" She glanced towards the viewing port, her gaze shifting from curiosity to fear. The expanse outside revealed vast nothingness, a serene emptiness filled with an array of stars, pulsating in colors not found in our universe. It felt beautiful and terrifying. "This must be the Voidwalker's dimension," she whispered, the wonder slipping through her voice. "We did it." But as I watched, the stars began to flicker. A growing darkness overtook some of their brilliance, and dread gripped my chest. "No, look." I pointed. Tendrils, like the ones that had pursued us, unfurled from the galaxy and swept out toward us with malicious grace. They glimmered with an ominous hunger, erupting from the darkness in undulating waves, much larger than those we had fought off before. "Activate the shields." Lula's voice was strong, but I could hear the tremor beneath. I punched the command, and waves of energy rippled outward from the ship, glowing in defiance. The iridescent wall repelled the seeking tendrils, but they were rushing towards us, immune to our tech and unfazed by resistance. "What's their origin?" I asked, voices rising over the frantic chaos. We need to break out of here or divert. It's like something is siphoning energy from this realm, she said, her eyes wide. That darkness, it feels sentient. As if to prove her point, layers of shadows seem to pulse and vibrate beyond our screens, as if something colossal wore the void as a mantle. Before I could argue, the darkness solidified, and from it emerged a being, a figure clothed in swirling shadows that twisted and danced like living smoke. It hung just outside our boarding viewport, observing us with an intellect that felt ancient and immense. "Welcome, travelers," it echoed, a voice that resonated with the very essence of the void, speaking both words and unbidden thoughts directly into our minds. I tightened my grip on the controls as chills ran down my spine. Creature radiated an unsettling grace, and the more I looked, the more I felt its presence wrapping around my thoughts, drawing forth pieces of my most hidden fears. Who are you?" I whispered, my throat dry. "I am Vorthon, the watcher of the shifting depths," the creature intoned, an array of resonant frequencies intermingling with the darkness. "I am the guardian of the boundaries between your world and mine. You seek the knowledge of the Voidwalkers, yet what you desire carries a price." Ulula's voice wavered as she stepped forward. "We need to understand how to survive, how to make sense of this chaos. Our world is in danger. Desire is a dangerous distortion," Vorthon replied, extending ethereal limbs toward the ship, dark tendrils brushing against the edge of our shield. "You walk a thin thread between hope and destruction. What will you sacrifice to understand the nature of your fears and pull your world back from despair?" The question rang in my ears, sparking memories of the past mission failures, the distrust that had marred our bond, and the sickness of betrayal I felt toward Lula when she proposed such reckless ambition. I had never wanted to face them again. "Tell me," I demanded, struggling against the emotions clawing their way up from deep within. "This is our only chance." Vorthon's form shifted and changed, coalescing into images from my memories halting, agonizing visions of our interactions with the K, real, and other missions rife with dubious intentions and false hopes. My failure, my cowardice, and the strain of trust we had built and torn apart corrupted our perspectives. "Witness your relationship's fault line," the creature commanded. "For every untended wound must be addressed if you wish to navigate the chaotic currents ahead." "Lula, what was the real reason you wanted to find the Voidwalkers?" I turned, the accusation lingering beneath my voice. The air thickened with tension as we laid our unspoken conflicts bare. "What do you mean?" she stammered, her voice cutting through my inner turmoil. I stepped closer, frustration trembling beneath my skin. "The K, real, were not the only threat you brought upon us. You wanted to open doors that should remain closed. You staked our destiny on dreams of peace while ignoring the risks." "No," she shouted, voice breaking. I sought connection with the void as a means to heal. I still believed that our past failures could be mended with deeper understanding. The honesty in her eyes took me by surprise, and I looked back at Vorthon, who observed us with an unblinking gaze. But the being remained silent, awaiting our response to the tumult of truth lingering in the air. "Then show me," I pressed, feeling the weight of impending darkness draw closer. "If we can see it again and break through the walls of misunderstanding." Vorthon's shadows flickered. "Your bond is frayed, yet still holds potential. But the choice remains, will you remain in the realm of despair or embrace the path to healing?" Together, Lula and I stood in the ship, trembling before Vorthon with the weight of what would come, resolving to grasp at the frayed threads of our relationship while facing the crushing depths of the void. I found solidarity in her presence. "Show us the truth," I declared, voice ringing with fierce determination. "Then teach us how to reclaim what was lost." Lula nodded by my side. "Illuminate the way, Vorthon. We're ready to face the shadows together." The Voidwalker's form radiated with pulsing energy, expanding beyond our comprehension as dark tendrils began to weave into a tapestry. It enveloped our ship, drawing us forth into the heart of the void. "Then understand the sacrifices required," Vorthon intoned, the shadows brightening, shadows unfurling into visions of past moments, burning embers of connection, trust, love, and memory splintered through doubt. Each fragment came alive, the fight against betrayal, the deep insecurities shaping our ambitions, the endless cycles of distrust that echoed through our decisions. In that cocoon of darkness, I felt each thread. But through it all, I felt Leula's strength as she stood beside me, her determination binding us in the firm grip of hope. A path stretched before us, tumultuous and chaotic, yet brimming with potential. A way to reclaim lost spaces and forge a bond anew. And as we held on to the prospect of unity against the shadows of despair, I realized that even through the darkness, we could illuminate the way forward. Gradually, the visions receded and the darkness shifted again, exposing a glimmer of light just beyond the vast emptiness. A fragile hope ignited at that core. "This is just the beginning," Vorthon said, ominously sweet, as the light flickered in the distance. "Endurance through uncertainty shall ultimately lead to greater revelations. Follow this path, and your choices shall reveal deeper truths." With that, the Voidwalker began to retreat, fading into the very fabric of the universe. The shimmering light ahead felt both like an invitation and a challenge. "So, what now?" Leula murmured, her breath hitching in shared understanding. "And now, we face what comes beyond," I replied, a sense of steadiness blooming in my chest. "Together." And as we maneuvered the ship toward that beckoning light, both the past pains and future uncertainties intertwined, spiraling into potential. The journey would not be simple, there would be shadows lurking ahead, but amid uncertainty, a whisper of hope glimmered dimly on the horizon. We would discover the nature of both the void and our hearts, and in that truth lay the strength to confront whatever awaited us, woven into the fabric of the universe, alive amidst chaos. As the nebula drifter surged toward the light in the distance, my heart raced with anticipation and apprehension. The ship vibrated with energy, sending ripples through the atmosphere as the pulsating core of illumination drew us closer. The air inside the cockpit crackled with a mix of adrenaline and hope. We were crossing the threshold into the unknown, but this time we were armed with the promise of unity. "Prepare for entry," Leula instructed, her fingers dancing across the controls. The screens glowed with data, calculating the optimal course as we plunged through the ethereal currents. I could feel her determination radiating beside me, steadying the ship as the void unfurled into unimaginable vastness. "Hold on to your hopes, because we might be stepping into something monumental," I said, my voice almost trembling with the weight of our choice. Leula nodded, her expression a mixture of resolve and apprehension. With a final shimmer of energy, the ship breached the luminous barrier, and we emerged into an expanse where time twisted and reality morphed. The surroundings transformed into a breathtaking landscape filled with celestial bodies. Huge, luminous orbs floated like suspended bubbles, radiating colors so vivid they seemed unreal. Nebulae glimmered as living tapestries, intertwined and pulsating with life. "Where it feels like we've breached reality itself," I murmured, utterly mesmerized. "Is this the Voidwalker's realm?" "Yes," Leula replied, her eyes wide with wonder. "This is the intersection of dimensions. Look closely, it's what the void represents, a canvas for possibilities." Suddenly, the ship jolted as shifting energies flowed around us, wrapping us in a cocoon of light. The walls of the cockpit rippled, and I could feel echoes of distant thoughts swirling around us. Whispers brushed our skin like a gentle breeze, inviting, tugging at our consciousness. "What's happening?" I gasped. The displays flickered as if the ship had caught the attention of the countless energies dominoing through the void. An intricate dance of thought and emotion sourced from within the colorful flux. "Hold on, the void is testing us," Leula managed through gritted teeth, her focus sharp. "We need to stay alert and channel our intent, or we could get lost among the currents." I grasped the control panel tighter as tendrils of light began to intertwine with the ship, swirling between us like playful specters. They hummed vibrant echoes of unfulfilled dreams resonating through the air, a delicate reminder of our struggles. "We came here for knowledge, answers," I shouted, forcing my own intentions into the chaos. We need to find the Voidwalkers. As if in response, the shimmering light coalesced further, blurring into a figure. A humanoid form made of iridescent energy, radiating warmth and an indescribable allure. It hovered in front of us, its presence both comforting and intimidating. "Welcome, seekers of truth," it spoke, its voice a melodic harmony that filled the space around us. "I am Ilyara, a manifestation of the void sent to guide you through your desires and fears." "Ilyara," I breathed, awash in the presence of this magnificent being. "We're here to understand the nature of the Voidwalkers, how they can help us save our world." "Yes," Lula interjected, her fervor rising. "We need the key to healing the rifts, the chaos that threatens to consume everything we know." Ilyara swirled closer, seemingly contemplating our intent. Desire drives the essence of existence, yet each need stirs shadows entwined in your past. The light around Ilyara flickered, revealing glimpses of our journey, the turbulence of betrayals, the echoes of mistrust, the unraveling of our once unshakable bond. "You reflect the challenges of your hearts," Ilyara continued. "Ask yourselves, what price will you pay to attain understanding? Are you prepared to confront your own fears that remain shadowed in the depths?" "Anything," Lula asserted, her voice raw with passion. "We will face it together." "We need to heal, the universe depends on it." "Yes," I added, unchanged by the frail facade of my hesitations. "Let us see what lies ahead. We need the strength to overcome our own darkness." Ilyara emitted a luminescent wave, cascading golden light through the ship. "Then you shall embark on the journey of self-discovery. Your shadows will take shape, revealing to you the paths of despair and hope intertwined." The landscape shifted again, and before us emerged the void, a reflection of our fears, an intangible embodiment of our accusations and doubts. Shadows surged around the ship, distorting reality, spiraling like vast whirlpools. Their dense forms morphed into scenes of our past events long buried, moments that had forged and fractured our connection. I saw clearer than ever the argument we had over Sheila 34, how fear had overshadowed reason, how judgment had stained trust. I felt anger grip me as I faced the distorted reflection of Lula, and her pain bled through like a tide. "No," I cried, horrified. "That's not who we are anymore, is it not?" Ilyara questioned, vibrant strands weaving around my consciousness. "Your actions bind you to the past. Only by confronting it can you reclaim your essence moving forward." Lula's voice trembled beside me. "No, I didn't want to betray your trust. I thought I was doing what was right, what could save us both." Her image shifted against the shadows, flickering with vulnerability that tugged at the frayed threads of connection between us. In the heart of the shadows, a more profound understanding began to weave itself, illuminating the embers of lost communication, of lost care buried under pride. But behind the shadows lies an opportunity, I realized aloud, locking eyes with Lula. It's not about past mistakes. It's about the choice to rise and heal. Ilyara's gaze flickered between us, a thread of warmth emanating from the intertwining shadows. "Then face these shades, for they are manifestations of your fears and aspirations. Together, confront the fears that sought to fracture your bond, and through understanding, you may break free." Lula turned, the courage in her eyes shining bright as the darkness drew nearer, latching onto our sensibilities. "We can't back down now," I affirmed, racing forward. "With our hands intertwined, we will face that which divides us." As we grasped each other's hands, a current surged through our bond, igniting the shield of energy around the ship. A glowing barrier surged forth, shielding us from the encroaching shadows. In that moment, with the storm swirling around us, I took a step toward our reflection, the fierce embodiment of our discord. "These shadows do not define us," I bellowed. "Today we rewrite our fate." Looming shadows coalesced, revealing the distorted forms of our fears, the feeling of betrayal, the shame of reckless decisions, the dread of suffocating ambition. With every step we took toward the shadows, we centered our energies, understanding the fear beneath the desire to love, to trust, and to grow together in a chaotic universe. With renewed determination, we began to speak the truths we had buried, pouring openness into each word that rang throughout the cosmos, entwining us with the very fabric of existence. "I am sorry for the pain caused by mistakes," I declared, voice reverberating through the void. "I claim my strength to overcome the shadows that hold me," Lula cried, her voice resonating harmoniously with mine, rising above the decibels of despair. "I wish for honesty from the depths of chaos. I confront my ambition, not to destroy, but to build." The shadows began to shatter as our hearts united, calling forth each shard of light that illuminated our former divides. Brilliant luminescence surged around us as light poured in, blasting away the remnants, engulfing the reflections of our past in warmth. The waves of shadow gurgled, then broke, fading into nothingness, leaving only calmness in its wake. Ilyara regarded us with a perceptible tenderness, her form shimmering with approval. "You have faced your fears. The bond you have forged can withstand the tempests of time. Your journey need not end here. It can deepen. But to walk forward, you must learn the wisdom granted by the heartbeat of the universe itself." I breathed a moment of relief, the burdens we had shouldered fading with the shadows. "So what now?" I queried, exhaling as I released the last vestiges of doubt clinging to me. Ilyara gestured to the endless expanse of swirling stars beyond the ship. "You will travel further through the realm of the void. Growth occurs beyond the threshold of understanding. Here, the Voidwalkers await, requiring the truth of your hearts." "What if they wish to claim us?" Lula asked, her voice a mixture of fear and awe. "A leap that may be fraught with peril, yet through your commitment to reclaim trust, you shall find the path. Face the Voidwalkers with clarity, step beyond the boundaries of shadows." Ilyara drew closer, radiating warmth through our ship. "Follow my guidance. Your journey is but beginning. Through darkness, you will rediscover light." With that, the vibrant illumination surged forth, enveloping the nebular drifter, and we felt the ship pivot closer to our destination. The shifting energies stirred once more, recalibrating toward the heart of the void. Slowing, the ship adhered toward what looked like a winding bridge formed of light anchored to reality. A swirling current led us into the heart of this realm the Voidwalkers called. We stared through the windows where almost ethereal silhouettes drifted, trapped in daunting beauty. "There they are," I whispered, my excitement bubbling with anxiety. A rush of emotions jolted through me as we set course, every last uncertainty now woven into purpose. Together, we would approach, bracing ourselves for whatever awaited us on the other side. A reunion with the unknown, an exploration of what was possible. One moment stretched toward eternity as we drew closer still. As our hearts beat as one, I nodded at Lula, and she met my gaze, a dance of courage weaving through the spark that united us. An understanding of choices made, souls forged in the tempest, ready to face the unfamiliar realm of the Voidwalkers. Together, we took a breath that intertwined with the universe around us, stepping into the wild embrace of chaos, a promise of illumination ahead, and the hope of something extraordinary lying just beyond. The vastness of the void expanded, whispering of countless possibilities tethered by trust, anchored by choices, ready to transform our lives forevermore. The nebular drifter glided toward the heart of the void, each oscillation of its frame ringing through my body like a heartbeat. The swirling mists of light greeted us, vibrant and alive, as if the universe itself had risen to embrace us. I felt the weight of our journey resting in the air around us, heavy yet exhilarating. "Ready?" Lula asked, gripping her console tightly, determination radiating from her every pore. Her expression shifted, an intricate tapestry of curiosity and resolve weaving through her features. I recognized the fire in her eyes. Together, we had faced the abyss, and we emerged resolute. "More than ever," I replied, taking a deep breath as the ship drifted into the dimensional portal before us. The lights twinkled and pulsed, dancing in a kaleidoscope of colors, each hue more brilliant and haunting than the last. It was unsettling, yet the beauty was intoxicating. I could hardly fathom the sheer depth of this existence. As we crossed the luminous threshold, a sudden pull enveloped us, plunging the drifter into a vast chamber unlike anything I had ever seen. A colossal expanse stretched endlessly before us, a cosmos of swirling energies intersected by veils of light. Ethereal figures emerged, stepping gracefully from the shadows like petals unfurling to greet the dawn. These were the Voidwalkers, guardians of the ethereal dimension, beings woven from the very fabric of time and space. They glided effortlessly, each one an intricate dance of light and shadow, radiating ancient wisdom and an unsettling aura of calm. As seekers of truth, you have arrived, a melodious voice called from within the vibrant array. The being stepped forward, its form shimmering like the surface of water under a starlit sky. I am Nyxara, and I sense the gravity of your intent. Nyxara, I echoed, awed by the grace surrounding this entity. We come seeking knowledge about the chaos threatening our world. We need your guidance to reclaim stability. Nyxara surveyed us, eyes shimmering like twin galaxies swirling in perpetual dance. Each of you harbors echoes of despair, wounds that claw at your spirit. This chaos you face is both a curse and an opportunity. Will you confront the truth to find healing? I shot a quick glance at Lula, whose brow furrowed as she deliberated the intensity of Nyxara's words. This moment felt surreal and yet palpable. We were standing on the precipice of something monumental. We're ready, Lula said finally, her voice steady, unyielding. We've faced our fears and we know what we want to achieve. Understanding and harmony. If this chaos is a reflection of our past, then we'll embrace it. Nyxara nodded, seemingly satisfied with our resolve, and gestured for us to follow. The space around us shifted, revealing corridors made of shimmering energy, pulsating with life and resonating with our very essence. Your journey has led you here not by chance, but by the forging of your hearts. Nyxara explained, her tone gentle yet powerful. Here lies the nexus of potential, a place where decisions made resonate through existence. To mend your world, you must first understand the choices that have fractured it. As we traversed the luminous pathways, ambient light flowed like a river, illuminating images that danced within each corridor. Some horrifying, some beautiful, all beckoning us closer. Windows appeared, showing distorted reflections of our past. The shattering moment during our mission against the K. Real, the arguments that had carved wedges between us, the moments of silent betrayal we had buried beneath layers of resolve. This is our past, I muttered, the pain surging through me as memories flickered by. We thought we could control the void, but we were reckless. In our pursuit of peace, we neglected trust, Lula added, her voice heavy with emotion. The chaos shattered our foundation. Nyxara turned, allowing us these intimate moments of reflection. The path to understanding lies in confronting these echoes decisively. Embrace the moments where fear overtook you, for therein lies the key to reclaiming your essence. We stared at the window displaying the pivotal moments of our connection, the struggles and sacrifices, tinged with regrets, fueling the very chaos we sought to understand. If we want the healing we've longed for, I whispered, my voice trembling with truth, we must not only face our failures, but also extend grace towards one another. And forgive ourselves, Lula replied, her voice unwavering. No longer can we let the ghosts of our past dictate our present. Nyxara flickered with a radiant glow at our recognition was dawning. Then it is time, she intoned with an air of solemnity. Together, unite your hearts and will, cast light into the shadows of the past, confront what haunts you, and allow healing to flourish. As I looked at Lula, I felt a powerful pulse of determination surge through us. The cosmos reverberated as both fear and hope intertwined. Holding her gaze, as if the very act of connection transcended even the darkest memories, I spoke the words that felt long overdue. Lula, we both knew we had to make sacrifices along the way, I see now that my expectation placed a weight on you, one I mistakenly thought was born of trust, but it was a disillusion I've held tightly to for far too long, and I wish to relinquish that burden." Tears welled in her eyes as she stepped closer, the shadows lifting from our connection. "I've long carried the guilt of wanting to pursue a path where mistrust tore us apart. I see the determination in your heart, and I forgive you for the times you doubted me. I, too, seek to forgive myself for putting our friendship in jeopardy." At that moment, something shifted within the chamber. Streams of light mingled around us, coalescing into vibrant waves that pushed against the oppressive shadows. Together, we stepped forward, hearts entwined, and embraced the past with open arms. "I'm ready to heal," I stated firmly. "And I, too," Lula echoed, drawing strength from our bond. The luminous energy whirled around us, intertwining like dancing sparks, radiating warmth and resilience, banishing the shadows that had cloaked our hearts. We were preparing for something greater, an insight that would transform the chaotic void into a fertile ground for growth. And now, Nyxara proclaimed, her presence vibrant as currents of energy surged around us. "Face your memories, witness the shadows you've cast and lend them light. Allow love to flow through the space created, and embrace the fire simmering beneath." As the corridor shifted once more, we stood at the threshold between two realms, the haunting past stretching into the void before us, a reflection of the turbulence we hoped to reconcile. With resolute determination, we stepped forward. Shadows dipped toward us, a cacophony of fears and regrets licked at our consciousness, but instead of recoiling, we met them head on. "What binds us is stronger than what divides us," we declared in unison, and I felt the warmth of our combined resolve rise into a blazing fire within the void. The swirling shadows recoiled like fog, catching fire under the brilliance of our resolve. Fear met love, chaos clashed with determination, and amidst it all, we rode the currents that surrounded us. Images of our past swirled in intricate patterns, their starkness transforming into vibrant tapestries woven from our renewed intent. The moments we once feared took on shades of understanding. The arguments became reflections of passion. The miscommunication morphed into lessons learned. We are more than our fears. We can create a new way forward. I shouted as the connection between us brightened, fueling the flames that ignited transformation. "Yes," Lula echoed, her voice rising with fervor. "Together, we will build a foundation fortified by trust and understanding. No longer will chaos guide our choices, but the bond we've forged in love." The shadows melted away completely, revealing a constellation of possibilities. Each light shimmering like stardust formed anew. I felt the burdens of the past dissolve, rebirthed as blossoms of hope adorning the cosmic expanse. As Nyxara stepped forth, glowing benevolently amid the shimmering energy, she regarded us with profound warmth and recognition. "You have transcended the shadows, united in purpose and healing. The chaos you face is malleable. Forge a new path through understanding. You will change the very essence of existence." We exchanged a glance, filled with shared conviction, hearts entwined with the lessons we had learned. The Voidwalkers stood behind Nyxara, their forms swirling in sync with the unbreakable bond we had forged amid turbulence. They had witnessed our journey and vowed to embrace our resolve. "Together, we shall confront chaos," I declared, "not as isolated beings, but as a force united. We are ready to reclaim the harmony lost in our world." And as our voices resonated in the chamber, I felt the weight of destiny shift around us, light blooming in the fabric of possibility linked to our choices. The journey had led us here, past the remnants of fear and into a vibrant expanse where understanding triumphed over turmoil. With renewed clarity and purpose, we stood at the heart of the void, ready to face whatever awaited us on the horizon, fortified by the echoes of our hearts intertwined. The journey had only just begun. Nothing could have prepared me for the spectacle unfolding before our eyes as the fabric of the void reshaped around us. With the echoes of our past fading into the sublime, we stood before the Voidwalkers' spectral beings that shimmered with the brilliance of the cosmos, their ethereal forms both magnificent and daunting. The air thrummed with potent energy, each heartbeat syncing with the pulse of the universe. Nyxara stepped forward, her luminous body emanating warmth that filled the chamber, illuminating the shadows left behind. "You have ventured far," she said, her voice a melodic blend of sounds, resonating deep within my soul. "You have embraced your fears and reclaimed your bond. The Voidwalkers acknowledge your resilience and invite you to unlock your true potential. Now, you must confront the chaos." "Chaos," Lula echoed, confusion rippling through her features. "How can we stand against what has torn at our worlds apart?" Her voice trembled with both anxiety and determination. "Embrace the chaos within you," Nyxara urged, "for only then can you command the depths of the void. You will learn that chaos isn't an enemy, it's a canvas. A realm of infinite possibilities." With her words, the air seemed to charge with electricity, swirls of light dancing chaotically around us. "Together," I said, stepping closer toward Lula, squeezing her hand as if drawing strength from our unity, "we can learn to navigate this chaos. It can be our ally, a catalyst for change. We just need to understand its rhythm." My voice surged with conviction, fueled by the energy seething around us. Ilyara moved gracefully towards us, her form flickering with shades of vibrant hues. "The chaos you experience reflects the turmoil within. You must channel that current, facing it with intention and purpose. If you harness this chaos, you will wield the power to restore balance within your worlds. But first, you must confront the trials ahead." With that declaration, a swirling portal burst forth in the center of the chamber, rippling with wild energy. Two paths emerged, one shrouded in darkness and the other shimmering brightly. My gut twisted instinctively at the sight of the dark path, an uninviting abyss that beckoned with whispers of our deepest fears. The light path glistened invitingly, radiant and hopeful. "Choose wisely," the Voidwalkers warned, their voices intertwining as they surrounded us with a soft, harmonious hum. "Your determination and choices will shape your reality. Face the chaos and earn the strength to reclaim your world." "This is it," I whispered, glancing at Lula. "We need to decide together. Our choices will reverberate beyond this moment. The dark path. It is our past, and how we've let fear dictate our decisions," she suggested, her eyes narrowing in contemplation. "But the light path embodies our potential, illuminating the healing we need." "Maybe it's not just one or the other," I replied, connecting the threads of understanding surfacing in my mind. "We cannot ignore the chaos that has defined us. We need to confront our past in order to unify with our potential." Ilyara nodded, approval shimmering in her spectral presence. "Brilliant! It is the melding of chaos and light that will empower your hearts. Embrace that understanding and infuse it into your very essence." Taking a deep breath, I stepped forward, the energy coiling around my limbs. I could feel the tension stirring beneath the surface, the dance of confusion and clarity weaving together. "Together, we will step into this, a convergence of shadow and light." Lula nodded vigorously, and with our hands clasped tightly, we approached the heart of the swirling portal. The shadows loomed closer, but now they felt different, an embodiment of growth rather than despair. The path ahead shimmered, inviting us to forge our own fate. The darkness whisked us away, enveloping us entirely as we crossed into the void. The sensation enveloped my senses, disorienting yet exhilarating. We were thrust into a series of fragmented realities, each representing a moment from our past, intertwined with our collective dreams for the future. Surrounding us were echoes of ourselves' versions filled with longing and doubt, courage and fear. "Witness your essence." A voice echoed through the chaos, resonating like a drumbeat. We stood at the edge of the first vision, watching ourselves unknowingly spiral into conflicted chaos. A breakdown, the collision of minds during our previous landscape with the K. Real. The argument played out against swirling energies, shadows writhing deeply within the fractured space between us. "Leon, you don't understand my past," Self shouted furiously, drowning out reason. "You're willing to gamble our safety for this naive dream of peace." Rage blazed within me at that picture. how fear and ambition had clouded our vision, how we had both let our insecurities inhibit our choices. Yet, even then, I saw innocence. The desire to forge genuine connections was buried beneath layers of pain. "It's chaotic," Lula breathed, her voice barely audible amidst the whirlwind, "but it's true." We were afraid of losing each other to those ambitions. Tears pooled in her eyes as she watched the shadows dance around the turmoil, illuminating the unresolved essence of our past. It was a reflection of our fears, I exclaimed, realization dawning as the shadows shifted. Those emotions drove us apart, but they are also what led us here. Drawing closer to the vision of our past selves, I extended my hand towards them. The shadows rippled, pulled between the two warring forces. "We understand now," I shouted, my voice steady. "We embrace the hope for connection. We just lost our way. We choose to heal the scars our choices have carved." The vision rippled, dissonant energy surging as light intertwined with the shadows of tension, and fragments began to dissolve. The anger dissipated, replaced with the warm flicker of understanding. The echoing argument faded, leaving behind radiance and clarity. "That's it," Lula shouted, exhilaration coursing through her veins. "We're reclaiming that energy." Feeling emboldened, we leaped into the next vision, a moment filled with happiness when we stood under a radiant galaxy, hope surging through us. But then I felt a shadow seep in, tension forming between joy and insecurity. The warmth began to dim. Thus, chaos crept back in. "Look closely, the balance we had was unsettled," Lula declared as ethereal figures began to fragment, swirling anew with shadows of regret. I could see our past happiness overlapping with the fears we held yet again. "How can we face this?" I asked, taking a cautious step towards the flickering memory. "What do I say to bridge that gap?" "Reckoning with our shadows is vital," Lula replied, her determination igniting. "Show them that wounds can heal, and acceptance calls for patience and strength." And nodding resolutely, we stepped forth together, confronting the vision of our past selves, illuminated with a flickering glow. "We are here to break the cycle," I declared, the air thick with energy once more. As my voice resonated within the vastness of the void, the shadows pulled further back, unraveling with every spoken truth. We embrace the lessons learned and choose to forgive ourselves. We are stronger together. We will not let fear guide our choices any longer. With those words, the disarray of memories collided with our present energy, blending into a tapestry of luminous grace, spinning and chaotically reshaping themselves into a vibrant vision of the cosmos. The figures disentangled, the joy radiating anew, intertwining with shadows, revealing the myriad shades of growth through our acceptance. I could feel a shift, a new aura igniting between us as the vision transformed into a unified embrace of light and color, breathing hope into dissonance. As the last remnants of fear twirled away, a sweeping current carried us through the portals of our memories toward the next series of trials that awaited. With each confrontation in the fabric of the void, we grew ever bolder, standing resolute against shadows that begged to tear us apart. Finally, after countless moments, we stood before a defining portal, an intricate weave of all that we had faced and conquered. A voice echoed through the chamber, a warm embrace that enveloped us as we reached the threshold. "What will you create next?" it asked, a challenge resonating deep within. "We will shape our world anew," I declared, fueled by the knowledge we had uncovered. Not dictated by past fears, but by the possibilities that arise when we embrace unity and strength. Together, we will craft reality grounded in compassion and understanding. "Anything less diminishes our collective potential," Lula said, her voice rising with passion as our hearts entwined, pulsing with renewed vigor. The portal before us gently illuminated, drawing closer as the energies intertwined. It began to morph into something vivid and alive. Committing ourselves to the path paved with light that emerged from our struggles, we stepped boldly into the newfound expanse. Leaving behind echoes of the past, we ventured into the radiance of possibility, a new canvas waiting to be filled with our collective will. As the light enveloped us, we understood the journey had only just begun, and the complexities of chaos had transformed into our greatest strength. Through connection with the Voidwalkers, we had come to realize that, though chaos might shape existence, it was hope, understanding, and shared resolve that would guide us to the heart of who we aspired to be. Together, we stepped into destiny no longer fragmented, but whole, two hearts untethered, ready to illuminate the cosmos with our journey onward. The void became a beacon as we traversed through the luminous energy, a connection to existence that felt alive with potential. Each moment sang with echoes of our past, twinkling around us, the universe embracing the truth we had forged together. And in that moment, as we surged forward, I knew we were ready for the final confrontation that awaited us, the culmination of everything we had endured, a reality crafted from hope and painted with the vibrant colors of unity. No further chaos could tear us apart. The stakes were high, and the universe awaited the choices we would make. In the vastness of the void, destiny lay open, multitudes of paths twinkling like 1,000 stars. As we readied ourselves for the confrontation ahead, I couldn't help but feel one undeniable truth echo within me. Together, at this moment, we could forge a new future woven from the very essence of light, anchored by trust, as we aspired to embrace the vast spectrum of the cosmos ahead. The passage through the radiant expanse of the void was unlike anything Leon and Lula had ever experienced. The nebular drifter glided gracefully on waves of vibrant energy, interspersed with chaotic tendrils of starlight, shimmering like a galaxy set aflame. It was a dance of colors and whispers, inviting and daunting all at once. "I can feel it," Lula murmured, her voice tinged with awe as she gazed out into the luminous infinity. "Something is waiting for us. The Voidwalkers. They're guiding us to a revelation." Leon's eyes flickered with nervous energy. They had faced their shadows, but the prospect of confronting the Voidwalkers, beings shaped from the very essence of the cosmos, sent ripples of anxiety through his being. "What do we confront when we meet them?" he asked, turning to her, his determination wavering slightly. "Can we really ask for their help after everything we've seen?" Lula placed her hand on his shoulder, grounding him. "We have come this far, Leon. We learned from our past, embraced our fears together. We can't back down now." Her voice was fierce, a balm against his trepidation. As they approached the core of the dazzling light, the shimmer materialized shape after shape. Silhouettes of the Voidwalkers emerged from the luminescent ether, their forms ethereal and dynamic, pulsating with the energies of space and time. Enigmatic whispers danced between them, a communication that thrummed with ancient wisdom. Seekers of truth, one of the Voidwalkers, an imposing figure amidst the shimmering multitude, stepped forward, its form a swirling amalgam of starlight. "You have traversed the tangled pathways of fear and confronted the essence of yourselves. Why do you call upon us? We seek your guidance," Leon proclaimed, his heart racing. Every ounce of resolve poured into his voice. "Our world is on the brink of destruction. Chaos is taking hold, and we aim to master it, to use its energy for healing, not annihilation. Do you wish to control it?" The Voidwalker's penetrating gaze bore into him, the very air thickening with unspoken truths. Chaos cannot be tamed. It is the manifestation of creation itself. "It's true," Lula interjected, stepping forward with unwavering conviction. "We've learned that chaos is not our enemy. We want to understand a way to balance it with hope, to wield it as a tool for restoration." The Voidwalkers hummed as if weighing their words, the vivid patterns swirling around them pulsing with energy. "To embrace chaos is to surrender to the unknown," the lead Voidwalker responded, its form shifting resolutely. "If you are to unlock its potential, you must undergo trials. Confront not just what the universe holds, but what you yourselves choose to create." Leon felt a wave of uncertainty crash over him, but there was no room for fear, not now. "What must we do?" he demanded, a flicker of courage igniting in his chest. "Accept the unknown," the Voidwalker replied, and as it spoke, the chamber around them morphed, blurring the lines between dimensions. A kaleidoscope of realities materialized, swirling worlds filled with wonders, challenges, shadows, and the vast spectrum of emotions. "Step into the door that calls to you. Your choices shall determine the shape of your destiny." Without hesitation, Lula took a step toward an arching doorway cloaked in swirling light. "Together," she said firmly, glancing back at Leon before stepping in, every fiber of her being alive with intention. Leon followed, heart racing. They plunged into the archway, a flash of light engulfed them, and suddenly they found themselves in a swirling maelstrom of colors and visions, each one a potential reality. "You must navigate this world," Inixara's voice echoed, reverberating through the tempest. "The emotions you experience here will reflect the chaos you hold inside." Before them, the swirling chaos began to slow, coalescing into distinct scenes, moments of joy, anxiety, wounds, and revelations, all tinged with the energy of their past and present. One memory captured Leon's attention, a failed mission, the aftermath of their clash with the K. Real, the devastation wrought upon their lives and friendships. "This," Leon whispered, his voice laced with dread. "It's where it all went wrong." "We have to confront it," Lula said beside him, her eyes fierce with resolve as she grabbed his hand. "We need to face it to understand our path forward." As they stepped closer, the scene shimmered into vivid clarity. They watched as past versions of themselves stood facing the wreckage of shattered hopes. The air was thick with tension, and Leon could almost taste the bitterness of regret. Intruders, the K, real soldier spat, demanding surrender. Leon felt the knot in his chest tighten, the wild chaos tangled with fear as past emotions surged to the surface. "Stand back," he shouted, feeling every ounce of the bravado he would felt that day bubble back up again. "We can negotiate." But the soldiers charged forward, and the moment spiraled into chaos, bloodshed unfurling within it. Past Leon and Lula fought valiantly, but their unity faltered, trust splintered beneath the strain of the moment, and their bond fractured. Lula turned to him, the memories recasting the shadow of failure across her features. "I was so determined to prove I could broker peace," she said, regret weaving through her voice like a ghost. "I didn't see the dangers. And you, I wanted to protect you, but I let my fears drive a wedge between us." Leon shot back, the pain of the past echoing in his voice. But just as the shadows threatened to swallow them whole, a flicker of light ignited amidst the chaos. "We can change this," Lula shouted. "We've seen what lies ahead. We're stronger now. We refuse to let those shadows define us." Hand in hand, they stepped forward, their resolve illuminating the darkened scene before them. "We choose to forgive ourselves," Leon's voice rang out, fierce and unwavering. "We emerge from the shadows a bond reborn." With every word, energy surged through them, and the surrounding chaos began to dissipate. A ripple of newfound strength overriding the despair. Their past selves shone through the tempest, radiant in their understanding, while the chaos began to spiral, illuminating the path they had forged together. As dawn broke in the world within the void, the montage of memories faded into a whirling shimmer, lifting them on wings of realization. The scene shifted again, revealing the next intertwining trial ahead, a tempest of chaos swirling, beckoning them forth. Stepping into the next vision, they found themselves standing before an immense, turbulent sea, where waves of chaos crashed and surged. "This is where we face the physical impact of our choices," Leon realized, his breath hitching at the revelation. "And learn to balance it," added Lula, her voice steadying him. "We're ready." "We will not let chaos drown us," he exclaimed, and together they plunged into the storm. As they battled the waves, each surge of water was a reminder of their past losses, fears, and hopes. They fought through each wave, determined and fierce, harnessing the chaotic energy surrounding them. "Breathe, feel the rhythm of the chaos," Lula cried, riding the waves with skill. With every step they took, light illuminated the depths of their hearts, joy mingling with sadness, weaving into the fabric of the ocean. It was then they saw it, a glimmering pearl glistening beneath tumultuous waters. "That's it," Lula shouted, pointing toward the pearl's brilliance as it floated beneath the surface, a token of wisdom buried but never lost. "The truth we've been searching for, together," Leon bellowed, diving beneath the surface, hand in hand with Lula. Cold water surged around them, emotions wrapped tightly around their bodies. As they ascended toward the pearl, memories clamored for attention, each a layer of chaos shedding its weight. They broke the surface, gasping for air, and Leon reached desperately for the pearl. He grasped it tightly, feeling its warmth radiate through him, a recognition of their growth. "We brought chaos to our bond," he said, his voice firm, "but it's our strength that defines us, not our fears. You can't ignore the past," Lula replied, her gaze steady. "You have to learn to be present with it. Only then can you awaken the truths that bring you closer to who you are." With newfound understanding, they unlocked the pearl's brilliance, the essence shimmering with energy, transforming into an iridescent shield. "This is our power," Leon declared, holding it aloft. "The strength to navigate through chaos. This is what the Voidwalkers want us to understand." Together, they raised the symbol of their unity, its glow shifting the storm surrounding them into peaceful waves. The depths of the ocean calmed, settling from restless chaos to serene tranquility. "Your trials are far from over," Inaiksara's voice echoed, and the Voidwalkers appeared above, radiant beams shining down upon them. "Yet, with each challenge confronted and overcome, you become beacons of light amidst the darkness. Carry this understanding with you." "Thank you," Lula shouted, feeling empowered by their victories and insights. "We have much to learn still. We will navigate this new path." With that, a portal of shimmering colors unfurled in front of them, beckoning them to the next phase of their journey. They were ready to face what lay ahead, existing amidst chaos and love, carrying an unwavering bond fortified by understanding and growth. Hand in hand, Leon and Lula stepped into the portal together, the storm behind them receding further into the depths of their past as they ventured into the unknown. Fueled by hope and ready to embrace whatever awaited them in the tapestry of destiny that lay ahead. So they crossed into the next realm, a reincarnated force confident, resilient, and vibrant against the backdrop of the void. A dance of light at their backs, and chaos ever at their fingertips, ready to be forged anew. As Leon and Lula stepped through the arching portal, an electrifying current cascaded over them, thrusting them into an expansive new dimension flooded with dazzling light. The air shimmered with energy, swirling around them like a living entity, intertwining with echoes of stardust and forgotten memories. They were no longer merely seekers of truth. They had become conduits for the very essence of chaos, an embrace that promised both power and responsibility. Here, far removed from the turmoil of their past, they stood at the cusp of something momentous, a place where the cosmos weaved infinite destinies, every choice vibrating with potential. The vibrant hues danced like a cosmic aurora, revealing countless pathways adorned with shimmering starlight, each one leading deeper into their own consciousness. "Where are we?" Leon breathed, overwhelmed by the kaleidoscopic beauty surrounding them. Every sight pulsed with harmonic resonance, as though the very fabric of existence sang a symphony, intertwining reality with the void. "This is the realm of creation," Inaiksara's voice echoed gently, reverberating through the luminescent atmosphere. "Here lies the potential of every decision made and every feeling expressed. Your journey culminates within this nexus where chaos dances with clarity, and you will shape the reality you seek." Pulling himself together, Leon glanced at Lula, who gazed at the radiance with wide, gleaming eyes. "Think of the possibilities," she whispered. "This is where we can manifest our intentions." As if sensing their thoughts, a shimmering pathway unfurled beneath their feet, glistening like silvered liquid light. They stepped forward tentatively, drawn deeper into the heart of the dimension, where the convergence of their destinies awaited them. Reflections of their past hovered in the air, each a meticulous recollection of struggles overcome and fears faced. Tapestries of emotions swirled and expanded, revealing fragments of the life they had experienced, visions of friendship, conflict, pain, and moments of connection that had shaped them. Each memory is woven into the very fabric of this place, Ingenuity explained, guiding them along the luminous trail. Recognize the emotions behind these memories. They will guide you toward the creations that will define your future. The memories grew clearer, pulsating like a heartbeat, and one particularly bright vision drew their attention. They saw themselves laughing beneath the starlit sky during a quiet moment on the drifter. The joy radiated from them, infused with untainted hope and camaraderie. "It's like we've traveled back in time," Leon murmured, and a smile creased his face at the memory. "Those moments were pivotal," Lula replied softly, her eyes reflecting the vibrant joy captured within the vision. "We can use them. We can create." As they continued, the tapestry darkened, revealing chaotic images intertwined with the beauty. Fight with the K. Real had left ripples of pain, and there was the heavy tension during the argument filled with rage and mistrust. Each image struck a chord, pulling emotions from within. "It hurt us then," Lula whispered, her heart aching as shadows flickered. "But now we see it differently. We've grown." Reaching out to the swirling shades, Leon declared, "We embrace this pain. We will transform it." Around them, the shadows shimmered and rippled, dark wisps merging with the light of their love and understanding. But let's not run from our history. We will breathe new life into it. And as if the void itself transformed in response to their words, the memories swirled and danced, shifting into a beautiful amalgamation of color and light. Dark shadows began to fade as radiant strands of promise emerged. "Yes, we are redefining our journey," Lula beamed, emboldened by the energy around them. "If we can showcase hope beyond despair, the universe will reflect that in each path. With every step forward, they forged through the memories, reinforcing the bonds they built through understanding." They began to channel their emotions, combining joy with sorrow, cultivating creations that intertwined the light and chaos. "Visualize," Ingenuity urged, as the realm began to shift once more, crafting space for their aspirations. "Your intent shapes reality. Weave your thoughts into the tapestry of time." Drawing upon their shared memories, they envisioned the world they dreamed of. A universe rooted in understanding and compassion, a cosmos where the beauty of connection outshone the shadows of fear. Leon concentrated, feelings igniting within him. "We can build bridges where shadows once reigned. We'll unite those who felt lost in the chaos." As he spoke, arcs of golden light burst forth, illuminating pathways leading away from darkness, signaling new life. Lula joined him, her heart singing with possibility. "And let us nurture the bond forged between us. We shall extend our warmth, creating camaraderie where division once thrived." The energies around them glowed brighter, pulsating with their intentions, each word carrying weight as it rippled outward. The very air crackled with delight as new pathways illuminated before them, gateways of opportunity unfurling into galaxies beyond. Suddenly, a chorus of voices erupted as the Voidwalkers merged into ethereal forms, encircling them with warmth. "Let your creation flow," they urged harmoniously, as the realm vibrated with newfound energy. Inspired by the storm of potential swirling within, Leon and Lula placed their palms together, channeling their thoughts towards the universe. "We choose to inspire connection," they declared in unison. "And with this creation, we shall illuminate the paths of others. May despair find hope, may fear find peace." An explosion of radiant light erupted, engulfing the cosmos around them. Colors swirled into a brilliant tapestry. A vivid reflection of their shared dreams spilled across the vast expanse, each strand an embodiment of hope, healing, and the promise of unity. As the waves settled, Leon and Lula watched in breathless awe as the creations unfurled before them, a magnificent web that intertwined the Voidwalkers' wisdom and their own resolved hearts. The cosmos transformed into an intricate cascade of glowing connections, beckoning souls from all corners of the universe. A promise of renewal. "We did it," Lula exclaimed, the excitement evident in her voice. We embraced chaos and transformed it into light. Together, we expanded the realm of hope, Leon replied, exhilaration surging through him as he witnessed the fruits of their labor cascading across the void. The Voidwalkers hovered close, their forms ethereal yet grounded, and Nyxara beamed. You have learned the power to shape your fate from the chaos around. Your hearts intertwine, and you have forged a conduit of connection and light. The cosmos welcomes your creation. From the vibrant tapestry emerged echoes of laughter, kindness, and healing, a burgeoning community flourishing among the stars. The bonds they had cultivated whispered through the universe, igniting the spirits of those who roamed in solitude, extending a luminous legacy forged from trust. May we continue to learn and grow, Leon said, gratitude swelling his heart as he turned to Lula. With you at my side, I know we can navigate anything. As the stars aligned around them, they realized they had become true Voidwalkers not just through the realm of chaos, but within the hearts of all who dared to embrace the journey toward understanding. The cosmos awaited. Their story was woven into the very fabric of the universe, forever radiating the light of hope. With hands tightly embraced and hearts ignited, Leon and Lula stepped into the luminous expanse ahead, ready to explore the countless worlds born from their new creation, a legacy that would echo through the eons. And as they surged forward, the cosmos embraced them, a canvas painted with endless possibilities, forever marked by the intertwining threads of their destinies.